Hi, everyone. Thank you so much to UNICEF and the Ministry of Education for inviting me to be one of the lightning talk speakers for Reimagine Education. I'm really excited to be here, and hopefully the learnings from our organization can help some of you. So a little bit about where I work. I am the CEO of Yayasan Generasi Maju Berkarya, or YGMB, which is a nonprofit organization based in Jakarta, Indonesia, where we want to improve STEM education by helping to diversify it and make it a little more accessible through student and teacher training. So all of our key programs, regardless of who our audience is, teach 5 different foundational skills from problem solving, critical thinking as our hard skills, and then confidence, communication, and compassion as our soft skills. So a bit about our programs for the students. We have a brand called Generation Girl where we focus on diversifying the STEM fields in Indonesia and creating more female leaders. And for teachers, we have a program called Pengajar Belajar where we try to help upskill the existing IT teachers in Indonesia. And we also, because of COVID-19, have a program to um, help transition the teachers, all Indonesian teachers, into the online learning environment. And from its launch about 2 years ago, we've had some really great numbers in terms of growing our community and growing our impact. So it's been really exciting so far. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the impact that we've made thus far, starting with Generation Girl, because that's really where it all started. I wanted to highlight one of the more average stories that we get here at Generation Girl. So this is, Rasha, she's one of our beneficiaries, one of our participants, and she was not forced, but she was asked by her mother to take one of our programs. She didn't really know what STEM was at the time. And at the end of the program, she ended up actually really loving it to the point where she decided to take more and more of our classes. And the reason why was because we created a really safe space for her. We created a community for her to really explore all of her options. We gave her aspiring role models to potentially emulate herself with, and we gave her, a lot of support in terms of exploring all of her different options in life, and especially with, trying to create cultural change. I think that that's really important. And then Eka from Pengajar Belajar is another one of our, success stories. The problem with Pengajar Belajar here is with COVID-19, we really have trouble accessing a lot of the teachers who need our programs because all of our programs are now online because of COVID. So we really had to start getting creative on what kinds of curriculums we can do and what kinds of workshops we can have, because that community feel that we want in Generation Girl, even though it's something that we want to create as well in Pengajar Belajar, the process and the way of doing it is very different because the audience is different, and the problems that they face are very different as well. So a little bit about what we learned. I just wanted to end here, some 3 different takeaways from what I just spoke about. The first is to always know your audience. Like I just mentioned, even though we are trying to achieve the same thing and to educate in both Generation Girl and in Pengajar Belajar, it's really important to know your audience, to understand their problems, and to find a solution that fits their specific cultural context, because it's not always going to be the same solution year round, or like program to program even. And just, design thinking process. I think that that's a really great way for you to really start thinking problem first and audience first versus solution first. Community is key. I think that's something that we learned at Generation Girl, especially when you're trying to tackle a lot of larger changes. Having that camaraderie and that herd mentality is really important. And then sticking to the foundational skills, as we know and see in the tech industry, it's really changing all the time. You always have to adapt to new learnings and new technologies. So rather than trying to catch up every single time, every single year with what's going on in the industry, we just try to really stick to the foundational skills that are adaptable in any situation, and in any they're quite timeless as well. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, I will be here. Thank you again to UNICEF and to the Ministry of Education, and hope to chat with you soon. Thank you.